I always do a quick 360 around the side streets to find out where the police are. Seems like it's just the City of London police rather than the Met that are here today. There's a gathering of the rally in the distance outside the Royal Exchange. Just to the left there we have the Bank of England.
When will the truth come out? No, actually, then go and catch them. Talk to them. Why are you going to catch them? Explain to them.
How appropriate, how apt that we should stand here today next to the Bank of England in one of the global bellies of the beast, the City of London financial district, the Square Mile. And how apt too that we gather here today in this belly of the beast, while in other parts of this city millions come together to pay homage and exalt a very symbol of their oppression and enslavement. It is an expression of the very hierarchy so run from places like this that has held humanity in servitude for known human history. Of course, the demonic faces on these banners must face justice for their mega crimes against humanity. And we must not rest until they do so. And I say this to the police forces of these lands. It is to your shame in extremis that you have stood by and continue to stand by while your fellow humans are murdered. And not only that, you then protect and keep from justice the very people who are doing the murdering, while at the same time you abuse, seek to silence and marginalize those with the moral courage and the awareness to challenge the murder and expose the murder. You in uniform are not there primarily to protect the people. That is a myth. You are there to protect those from whom the people need protecting. Where is your moral courage? Where is your self-respect? Where is your awareness of what you do?
I care about everyone, I care about everyone's children, and we're doing this for our children's children. And the reason I take some of the risks I take, is because I don't have children. So I can spend 3 days in a police cell. I don't give a shit. But 1 year ago today, I was arrested and held for 3 days because I plane bombed number 10. We did that to show that the government have blood on their hands, and we're doing the same thing today. You can see that we're wearing red, we've got some snazzy hats, and the effort that we make to buy this is meant to be a dress, by the way, but I'm too fat for it. So, you can see us, we're wearing red, and now that's because, obviously, crimes against humanity, you can see the posters we've made, to show the government does have blood on their hands, but also have a Canadian guest.
So it shows that we have made headway. It shows that when we bare our teeth, we get results. It's that simple. We have the power. But they're trying to change that. The digital identity, the universal basic income, the biometric surveillance state changes all that. It changes each and every one of us from an individual with a little bit of power, and it transforms us into a blip on a screen where they can flick a switch, and easier than getting rid of a fly, you're done. And that's what we're fighting against. That's why I'm touring around the world to spread awareness, to provide people with the education, the inspiration. They need to stand up and do the right thing. That is all it takes for this nightmare to be over. Because all evil needs to succeed is for good men to do nothing. Well, I consider myself a good man. And I hope a lot of you consider yourselves good men and fighters. Because I will not stop. I will be relentless until my last breath to fight for freedom. They're going to do everything they can to scare you, everything they can to make you submit. So what are they going to do? They're going to do what every tyrant in human history dating back millions of years did. They're going to try to starve you into submission. It doesn't matter who's telling you to do what. Because when you just say no, and you do what you want to do, you do what you need to do, you do what we have to do. We won't just be free now and for next generations to come. We can usher in a golden age of humanity where monarchies and governments actually serve the people they are intent on trying to rule. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God bless London. I love you all. Thank you.
Sky people! So guys, now you're going to go marching.
Now, the building we're right next to here, the Bank of England building, it was privatised in 1694, and that's when the rot started for nation states. Because if you're not in control of the currency of the nation, you're not in control of anything. They control the show completely. Anybody that controls your treasury or your money, your household, they're controlling you. And that's what's happening around the world. So since 1694, that's when the rot started, when King William of Orange sold the Bank of England to privateers, to banksters. So they also sold the area we're in now. The 1.2 square mile city of London is a private entity. It's got its own sovereignty. It's not part of the United Kingdom. So this 1.2 square mile, which is governed by a council of 12 and the City of London mayor, but they represent the top 13 families around the world. But you know, and the scenario is, in here as well, the 1.2 square mile, not only did they control the banking around the world, every country except for 3 nations, so they're controlling countries around the world, except for 3 nations. They're also controlling the judiciary around the world, which is why all the court cases that have been taking place here and around the world have been falling flat. They control the judiciary because the Bar Association at the four ends of court at Crown Temple, the four ends of court at Crown Temple, which is Inner Temple, Middle Temple, Gray's Inn and Lincoln's Inn, they're controlling the Bar Association around the world. It's a private club. It's not a corporation, a private club. And they control even the franchise, the Bar Association franchises, even to the military might of America. So they're controlling it, the judiciary, they're controlling the banking system. Now, you police that's on the periphery out there and over here, let me say to you, because many of you think you're working, yes, for the Crown, but the Crown is not the Crown you think it is. The Crown that you believe you're working for is actually Crown Temple. Crown Temple at the four ends of court created by the Bar Association, is created what is called the Maritime Legal Legislation, which is legal but not lawful. Now, that maritime law is not the law of the land, it's piracy, it's the law of the sea, and it was created here in the 1.2 square mile city of London at the Four Inns of Court.
They get nothing but peace, love and unity. Freedom, flash mob, carnival train. And you can catch us on Telegram. Freedom, flash mob, carnival train. How you doing?
That's what resistance is! Know your no!
You look very smart. Nice one, Rad.
Yeah, I'm activist man from Germany, Aktivist man in German language. You will find it if you write activist with K. You will find my channel at the first Telegram. It's funny, a similar camera you have was taken by the police by a protest in Germany. More than 1 year, it needs to get it back. So I was arrested round about 13 times in Germany in all the protests. And I'm so glad that you fight for freedom. I shared many of your videos. I share many of the European protests, Canadian protests, US protests, Australian protests. And I love English people so much because they are fighting.
We are here to stand against tyranny, and we are here to say these people, Matt Hancock, Jonathan Van Tam, Boris Johnson, Chris Whitty, Klaus Schwab, can't pronounce the Ethiopian guy's name, they need to be locked up here. Lock them up! 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 Do your job! 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 Lock them up! Stay behind the banners and the boards and be all the people, the people.
Rifles from the east side, try rolling one man than jigger. Show where the gun crime scene get reader. One time man a killer. Cut out to liver. Show it to the dog and make them damn feeling.
Say again, mate, for the camera. Come and speak to the camera, come on.
Queen's thing's going on right now, mate. What are you going to say?
Tell us what you think.
Queen's thing's going on right now.
So what?
It's a bit disrespectful, isn't it?
No, it's in fun. It's in fun.
Do you want another
Everyone's breathing, eating, doing everything. How's it disrespectful? What are you doing? I bet you took a shit. I bet you had a shit this morning. Have you had a shit this morning? That's disrespectful. You're disrespectful to me. You're fucking disrespectful.
What are you saying, mate? What are you saying?
Hank Hancock.
Hank Hancock.
Hank Hancock. Hank Hancock. Let me say freedom.
coming.
They want us all to die. They have a depopulation program. They are sociopaths. Do not do what they're asking you to do. You have been brainwashed. They are lying to you on the mainstream media. The scientists who are in favour of the jabs have all been bought.
Really good.
So, 2 years ago I became aware of you because you predicted the future, quite famously. I think that's probably why everyone knows who you are. Now that that's all come true, could you predict the next 2 years for us, please?
Well, now that people are awake, we basically have two options. We can go along with whatever they say, and we already saw how that worked out. Never-ending masks, never-ending boosters, never-ending lockdowns, closing your business, taking everything you own to make sure that you will own nothing and be happy because you won't be able to talk about it. Or you could just say no. And if everybody does that, we're going to have an entirely different future, a future that everyone can be proud of, a future that everybody will enjoy. And I'm personally a lot more willing to go along with that future. And that's why I'm doing this tour, because I believe we are on the cusp where if we do the right thing, we'll get that future. If I just sat around and the rest of us just sit around and do nothing, we're guaranteed to get the nasty future that they've been trying to foist on us for the last 2 years. But thankfully, I believe enough people are awake, enough people are aware, and enough people have had enough that this isn't going to happen anymore. So guys, if you are with me, that's all you got to do. You just got to say no. Because you know it's coming back. You know they're going to tell you to put the mask on. You know they're going to tell you to take another jab. You know they're going to tell you to close down your business. You know they're going to do everything they've already been doing. China's already locked down again. 500 million of their citizens locked down in a way where they're not allowed to leave their house. They have drones flying around doing facial recognition and giving out messages to tell people to stay in their homes. They have a new COVID safe app in China. Before, it used to just tell you if you were tested positive or not. Now, if you're not up to date on your vaccine, it goes red. When it goes red, you can't use your bank card, you can't use an Uber, you can't travel out of your own area because there's checkpoints. They are so tightly controlled, and that is the model that they want to bring here, Canada, and virtually everywhere around the world. Justin Trudeau in Canada was literally on the record saying how much he admires Canada's basic dictatorship, because they can do whatever they want and the people have no say. He wishes he had that power. It's his wet dream to be a dictator like his supposed daddy, Castro. I'm just kidding about that. More questions.
They have their way, and they get a digital currency and ban cash. They're gonna.
That just made us really awkward.
It's good to have someone playing some tunes, isn't it? Someone else. I get back as well. Hold on.
Yeah, they call me Yuli then.
I'm freedom till I die. I'm freedom till I die. I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm freedom till I die.